it's Miss O'Kaylee back with another book for you. I thought we should do something a little bit different for the next few weeks. All of the month of April, I don't know if you know this, is Poetry Month, and poetry is my absolute all-time favorite subject. I don't think there's anything better than poetry. So I thought this month that maybe we should read a book together that has everything to do with poetry, and we should practice writing some poems. So I'm going to start off with a book by Sharon Creech called Love That Dog, and I'm just going to read the first part of it to you today, and then next week I'll come back and we'll read a little bit more together. But Love That Dog is all about a little boy who, his name is Jack, and he goes to school and decides that poetry just is not his thing. He thinks it stinks and that it's no good. He doesn't want to write it, doesn't like to write it. And throughout the unit that his teacher teaches him, he kind of decides to change his mind. So I hope that throughout the month of April, if you love poetry, you learn to love it even more. And if you're somebody who's kind of on the fence, you decide that poetry is definitely your deal. So we're going to read this book, Love That Dog. And it's pretty cool because all the pages, the words look like poems. So the whole book is written in poetic form. So it works really well. All right, so let's get started, okay? Again, Love That Dog. Jack, room 105, Miss Stretchberry, September 13th. I don't want to because boys don't write poetry. Girls do. September 21. I tried. Can't do it. Brain's empty. How many of you feel that way before? Like you just can't think of anything to write down. September 27th. I don't understand the poem about the red wheelbarrow and the white chickens and why so much depends upon them. If that is a poem about the red wheelbarrow and the white chickens, then any words can be a poem. You've just got to make short lines. October 4th. Do you promise not to read it out loud? Do you promise not to put it on the board? Okay, here it is, but I don't like it. So much depends upon a blue car splattered with mud speeding down the road. October 10th. What do you mean? Why does so much depend upon a blue car? You didn't say before that I had to tell you why. The wheelbarrow guy didn't tell why. October 17th. What was up with the Snowy Woods poem you read today? Why doesn't the person just keep going if he's got so many miles to go before he sleeps? And why do I have to tell more about the blue car splattered with mud speeding down the road? I don't want to write about that blue car that had miles to go before it slept. So many miles to go in such a hurry. October 24th. I'm sorry to say I did not really understand the Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright poem, but at least it sounded good in my ears. Here is the blue car with tiger sounds. Blue car, shining bright in the darkness of the night. Who can see you speeding by like a comet in the sky? I can see you in the night. Blue car, shining bright. I can see you speeding by like a comet in the sky. Some of the tiger sounds are still in my ears like drums, beat, beat, beating. October 31st. Yes, you can put the 2 blue car poems on the board, but only if you don't put my name on them. For a kid who doesn't like poetry, Jack is a pretty good poet, isn't he? Alright, so here's what I think we should do. If you look below, there's 2 links and you can click on them, and one is to the original poem, the wheelbarrow poem that Jack is talking about and he's all confused about what it means, and the other one is a link to the Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright poem that he wrote a version of. So my challenge to you is for you to write an imitation poem. So like the wheelbarrow poem, how he wrote so much depends upon a wheelbarrow. You're going to start yours with so much depends upon, and then fill in the blanks. And your poem should look the same as the original poem. So when you open up that link, you want your poem to look really similar, but just to have your own words. Then there's the Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright poem. The challenge with that poem I'm going to give you is just to write a 1 stanza poem, so a 1 chunk poem. So it should be as long as the poem that you're looking at, and it's going to have a rhythm to it. So the Tiger, Tiger, Burning Bright poem sounds like da 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 da. So you're going to try to write a poem that has that same sound. And a really good way to start it would be something with 2 syllables. So like donut, donut in the pan, or brownies, brownies in the oven, something like that. I had a student once write one that was amazing, and I have it memorized because it was so good. He wrote, old man walking fast, he's supposed to be in last. Shiny legs and flabby skin, and that old man came out to win. So if you could hear that rhythm, you want a 4-line poem, maybe 5 lines, but you'll see it when it's when you open the poem up, that matches the Tiger Tiger Burning Bright rhythm. So I challenge you to either write an It All Depends Upon poem, and again it should look like the one attached, or a Tiger Tiger poem with that rhythm, the da 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 rhythm. So really talk to yourself, and then send me a poem. Write it in the comments. Tell me what you think so that I can respond and I get to see and read all of your poetry. I'll come back to you next week with the next chunk of Love That Dog. Write some poetry and enjoy Poetry Month, guys.